Hello! Today we're going to make a shaker card like this one, and you will need some card already folded in half. You'll need a little image that's smaller than the card. Then you'll need some double-sided foam tape. If you can't get that, get some foam. You will need some double-sided sticky tape or a glue stick, scissors, need a pencil, need some card to make a frame. I'm using gold mirror card. You'll need some acetate, which is like a clear film, and you'll need something to make the snow, and I'm going to use these white beads. So those are the things I'm putting in my shaker. You could use glitter or sequins or something else, but I'm going to use the white beads. So gather your materials and let's make this card. Okay, we're going to start with the card blank, which is the card we want to use, and decide which way up you need it. I'm going to have mine portrait, which means the fold is on the left for me, and your image. So choose where you want your image to go on your card. I'd like mine to go there. I think that looks good. And the reason I'm putting it so high up is I'm actually going to put some writing underneath it that says Happy Christmas. So I need it to space out nicely. When you've chosen where you want your image to go, just put a pencil mark on each corner like this, so that you know where it needs to be, and you can find that position again. And then we're going to cover the back with, well, we're going to put some double-sided sticky tape on the back. Now, you don't have to cover the whole of the back of this, but what you do need to do is make sure that the edges are covered, because otherwise the image will lift up and the shaker element of your card won't work properly. So I'm going to put this right up against the edge, like that. And then I'm going to do on the other side. I'm not going to worry about this chap's finger, snowman's finger, because it doesn't matter if that lifts up. And now I'm going to put some sticky tape on the top and make sure the hat's covered, and the bottom, and make sure this little ridge is covered here. So once you've stuck down your background image, you'll need your acetate. What we're going to do is put a piece of foam tape on the very edge of the plastic so that you can see how wide your foam tape is, like this. Line it up with the edge of your image and make a mark here, just a little mark, just so that you can see where your film acetate will go to, just there. Okay, now we're going to do the same on the other side. Now, do I want to bother keeping that finger in, or does it look alright without it? It looks alright without it, so I'm going to not bother, just to make life easier for myself. A little mark. And then at the bottom as well, a little mark, like that. And then we'll do it at the top. Now this one I will have to do leaving the hat in, because if I don't put the hat in it looks a bit odd. So I'll leave the hat in like that, make a little mark, like that. Okay, so now on my card I have 4 points. Now I'm going to put the straight edge, so an edge that I know is straight at a right angle, like this, against the marks. So I've lined it up with the mark on. I've lined it up with the mark on this side, and I'm going to line it up with the mark on the bottom. Make sure it's square, and then I'm going to use my scissors and put a little mark over the mark of pencil. And now I know that from this edge to this mark is how wide I need it. See that mark there? And from the bottom to this mark up here is how tall I need it. So I've joined up my lines so I know what shape I need to cut, and I'm going to carefully cut it out. Now remember that we want nice straight cuts. So now we've got our acetate that's the right size for our card. We're just going to use a rubber and get rid of these pencil marks from when we measured our acetate. Okay, and now we're going to make sure that this is clean. You can either wash it or use a baby wipe and then dry it with a tissue, but you just want to make sure that this is clean and not covered in fingerprints. So now my acetate is clean and dry, I'm going to put my foam tape around the edge. And then you have to think about the things you're filling it with. If you're filling it with glitter, then you should be okay with just one layer of foam tape all the way around the edge. If you're filling it with something bigger, for instance the beads that I'm using, you're going to need to double this up and put 2 layers on. So just have a think about the things you're putting in. If it's thick, you'll need a thicker layer of tape, so you'll need to double it up. So when you've got all your double-sided foam tape on, peel the back enough and then very carefully place it over your image, making sure that you line it up properly. Now, before you stick this top bit down, that's where you're going to use that little hole to put your glitter or whatever else you've got in there. So I'm going to have some snow, and I'm going to use some white beads, some cream beads I think, and have a little mixture. Okay, so when you've put all the beads in, or glitter or whatever you're using, now you can smooth this top bit down. So now we're going to make the border that goes around this to hide all this tape. So I'm going to use gold card for my border. I'm going to turn it on its back so that I'm drawing on the wrong side. Line it up with the foam tape to see how long it should be, and then line it up again on the side to see how wide it should be. Then I'll draw a line across and a line down to meet them up. So I'll cut 2 of those out, and then I will do the same for the shorter side. Okay, so I've cut out my strips of paper, gold card, and I've put double-sided sticky tape on the back. And now I'm just going to stick them over the top of my acetate to make a nice frame around my picture, like this. So just there, it's a little bit longer than I intended, so I'm just going to trim that off. I'm going to use my normal scissors, not my tape scissors, and just trim that off like that, just to make the edge nice and neat. I'll do the same on this side. Just trim the extra bit off, and then you can see all the beads shaking. That's what makes it the shaker card. And then I'm just going to add my sentiment on the bottom. And I think I'll put it at a jaunty angle like that. So there we go. That's how you make a shaker card. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and send me some pictures of the ones that you've made. I'd really love to see them. Thank you. Bye.